Welcome back to the Shelf Sisters. Welcome to our book club episode. It's been 3 weeks this time instead of 2. We're feeling a little out of sorts. We had some technical
I forgot to press record. We went through maybe 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and thank God I look over at our Zoom device. I'm like, it's not red. We are not recording.
I want to say we were having a beautiful conversation, and the fact that it got cut, that's a little
Derailed.
annoying. But we were talking about our book that we're talking about today, of course, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I was just saying what a formidable author she is. One of my favorites, if you don't know by now. And we're so excited to discuss. Shall we say what we were talking about? What it's reminiscent of?
Because I said this was a Sanya's choice. I think if it's Emily Henry, we're just going to attach it to Saanya.
That's true. That's true.
What why I thought about it. But then Saanya said she went on Reddit and people were saying it's more women's fiction.
Yeah, it's like romance, but they're categorizing it as women's fiction because it is different.
Appeal to more audiences because historically her books have been very much a romance.
Yeah, I will get into the Reddit chat. I have weirdly been on Reddit
I was
so
gonna
much.
say, during our last book club episode, Saanya was all over Reddit, trying to figure out what people were saying. So she is
I've been going on Reddit because of Handmaid's Tale.
Oh.
And every single time I finish an episode, I literally would type season 6, episode 3 Reddit and just go through the entire thread because I have no one in my life that's watching The Handmaid's Tale. And so I need to commiserate with others of like minds.
Some of our Instagram listeners, or podcast listeners, are watching The Handmaid's Tale. I saw DMs and some comments.
Okay, why didn't I see these DMs and comments?
You should converse with them.
Yes, I should. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I've literally been going on Reddit because I'm like, what's everyone chatting about? And there was this one episode that was so crazy. Season 6, episode 9. Those of you that are watching with me, it was psychotic. You don't watch. I can't even explain it to you, but it was probably the craziest episode of the series. It was so shocking, so upsetting, and
upsetting for a woman or just upsetting in general?
For me, upsetting for a lot of people.
Okay.
And two beloved characters, stuff happened to them. I'm not gonna spoil it because if you're not watching, you should watch. It is one of my top 5 favorite shows ever.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Speaking of shows, really, really quickly, because we need to get into our book. I started watching The Sirens, and as soon as I started watching, all I could think about was, this is a dream cast of ours that we would have said. Megan Fahey. What is the lead's name? Why do I keep saying she's Mandy?
Megan Moore?
No. Oh my gosh. She's the redhead. Also, yesterday I found out she was 67 years old. Homegirl does not look anything over 45. She looks incredible. And then the youngest sister is actually from House of Dragon.
Oh, you literally just
I'm
blew
sorry,
my
is
mind.
This not our dream cast for a book?
No, it is. That's so crazy. So I haven't seen the show, but I've been watching clips. And I was like, where do I know this girl from? But I didn't Google it because I wanted it to come to me. And you just gave me the chills. Because seriously, I was staring at her face for 10 minutes. Yeah, where do I know you from?
All I could think about was, this is our dream cast. And, well, first of all, I know 5 people's names. And I can only think of the 2 people in the show. I've only watched 2 episodes. Maybe I shouldn't get carried away, but it's great.
Okay, I might
It'll probably take me 2 more months to finish it, but it's okay.
I might add it to my list because, by the way, I'm done with Gilmore Girls. And last night I watched the series finale of Handmaid's Tale, aka it's done. So? It's not the season finale. It was the series finale. Okay? I am not okay, and I'm looking for.
I petition.
I know what you're about to say.
What? No, I want to hear it.
Nobody.
Nobody wants this. You have to start.
No,
I'm sorry. No, you have to start.
I will, because last night after I was done, I was going through Netflix and I kept seeing it pop up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my big sister and I'm going to watch it.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, because I know I've seen a few clips. Like I know
no,
what it's
so
about.
Cute. Like, should I rewatch it?
And you should. And I'll start it probably after
That'll be
this.
my third time rewatching it.
Because after I finished Handmaid's Tale, I literally had to immediately pick up my Kindle so I could finish it for this episode. Yeah. So I didn't have like a ton of time sitting around doing nothing.
Well,
you know?
They just wrapped season 2 filming, so that means season 2 is going to air in like August, so you should get on it.
Amazing. Okay. And I actually also have a Good Girl's Guide to Murder that we talked about last episode to watch. That's on my list, so I'm excited.
Okay. Wow. Yep. Lots on your content plate. Okay.
Yes. So, okay, back to why we're here. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. We're going to give you guys a summary first, go into our overall thoughts, some questions, Hollywood adaptation, and then, of course, our rating. Which I'm so excited to hear because, honestly, I have zero clue. Like, I don't know if you liked this book, if you didn't like it. I feel like I can tell, you know, when you... Well,
I also just finished it, so I don't think I gave you an inkling of what I was thinking.
No, but like while I'm reading, I feel like I know what you would like and what you don't. And this, like, I seriously have no clue. Okay. I feel like judging by your face, like you didn't love it, but okay. Okay,
we'll go over a summary in
let's
case.
Start with a summary.
Yeah, you guys haven't read it, which... I don't know if there's a lot of people that listen that haven't read it, but you know.
Well, a lot of people wait to read the book. Like if they're not reading along with us like that certain month, they'll watch after they're done. So I'm guessing most of the people are
actually, we did the last 2 or 3 weeks. We got comments from people from our like previous month's episode, like literally October. 6 months ago. They're like, we're finally catching up and we're reading this. I'm like, amazing, because those were great books. So thank you guys. Yeah. All right. Well, for The Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, Alice Scott is an eternal optimist that's still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize winning human thundercloud. And they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, Margaret Eves. Tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and the daughter of one of the most scandalous families of the 20th century. Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who will write her story. The problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story, pieces they can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale of Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery or a love ballad, depending on who's telling it. As the two go along this month-long period, they fall in love and Margaret's secret comes to the surface. They end up writing Margaret's memoir together, and turns out, spoiler alert, Margaret had a secret daughter she gave up for adoption, which ironically is Hayden's mom, which makes Hayden her grandson.
Mini claps for you. Good job. That was the story. We'll get into our overall thoughts. I'm trying to think if there's any other details that like we didn't say in the summary, but I don't think so. I think that was the overall, like, you know,
gist
of the book.
But so I want you to go first with your thoughts, because
I was going to say you go first.
No, I don't want to. I don't know.
Oh, yikes. That means you didn't like it. Okay. First of all, I think Emily Henry kind of redeemed herself with this book, because the last two, the last one, it was like fine, but the one before, Happy Place, it seriously like made me go down a deep dark hole for Emily Henry. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is not her. Like I felt like she was maybe going through something, because it was like really bad in my opinion. But this book, I want to say it started out really good. I liked the romance because, as you know, I like some tension. I like some angst. I like it to build up to something. So at first it was good, and I love a moody guy, you know? So that was all good. And then as it started to go along and they liked each other like a little too quickly, I was like, oh, okay. Like I kind of lost interest, and the like spicy scenes towards the end, my eyes were like glazing over. I seriously did not care, and I was like get a room. Like this is not for me. So that was like a little bothersome, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the second plot, Margaret Eves, whatever. I thought the most interesting part of the story was what she glazed over, Cosmo and Claire, like their story. Mm-hmm. It was like so nice when she was talking about that, but all of the other parts kind of made me sad. Like her parents' story, her sister's story, like joining a cult. I was like, geez, like these people can't catch a break. Like the only good thing in their life is their money, you know? Like what else? And like I just felt like she was like floating through life, like drifting through everything until she found Cosmo and had something to ground her, like had something tangible and something real. And that part just kind of like made me sad. And I don't know, I really liked the what's it called, the setting of the book. Like it sounded so nice. Little Croissant, the coffee shop, I seriously wanted 5 croissants as I was reading. It sounded so good. And so that was like nice.
Also her iced lattes.
Oh my God, they sounded so good like, and so sugary.
Yeah. like you're having this in the morning? Okay.
Yeah, with a croissant every day. Okay.
I would blow up.
Yeah, so it was fine. And then I overall liked it. We're supposed to be saying our overall thoughts, and I'm just like going into detail. Overall, it was good. I liked it more than I thought it would, but it still weirdly like fell flat for me. You know? That, yeah.
Okay, that tracks. Okay. Overall, since we're going with that.
Okay.
Same as Saanya. I liked it more than I thought I was going to because the last Emily Henry book that I read for our book club, I was like, oh,
funny story.
Blah, blah. But she redeemed herself with this because it was romance, but again, there was depth and it wasn't just about these two people falling in love. And what I love about Emily Henry is that she writes about writers.
Yes.
And it's in a way that like it's not cheesy. Like you could actually understand like them solving not a mystery, because this wasn't it was a mystery, like Margaret's life. Yeah, but you could then like understand how they're connecting the little dots from both of their stories, which they're not supposed to be telling each other. So I like the way that she wrote this book. The entire time I was reading, I was like, am I reading? We talked about this before we started recording. Am I reading Evelyn Hugo? Because there are so many similarities in this writing style, right? And so I kept thinking Emily Henry must have like read Evelyn Hugo like right before this, like, you know, I don't know, like she was inspired by this like way of writing. I liked it. But like you, I was sad for Margaret's like family legacy because you really did think that they were cursed, like they couldn't do anything right, and like that was her overall like theme in the book. And she gave up all of the family's legacy, the money. No one has the last name Eves anymore. Like they made sure of that because they didn't want anyone to be connected with it. So that made me really sad. I do think Emily Henry dragged on the first 60% of the book. I don't think we needed that much detail about like the backstory of like her grandparents. Like I think like we could have connected the dots had there been less detail. I wanted more detail on Cosmo. I needed more detail on her sister joining that cult. It was glazed over. Like, I'm sorry, she just started reading this book and she's like, I'm going to join this cult. And she was emailing the author with her real name, and she knows. Laura Eves, who doesn't step out to even go get a coffee. She's going to email this doctor author with her real email address. And then give him $5,000 before she even meets him. Like, girl, like, you're dumb. What? So glazed over those facts. And then to find out that Hayden is her grandson at the very like last 2 seconds, I just couldn't. Like, it was too much. But I really liked the character for what's her name? The lead name. Hayden and
Alice.
Alice. Oh my gosh, how did I forget?
I was forgetting it too.
Yeah, but Alice, I really liked her character because I think she was like giving on all ends. Like with her mom, with Margaret, with Hayden, she was meeting everyone at their level. Mm-hmm. And I mean, honestly, that sounds exhausting to me, but I thought she was like handling it really well.
Yeah.
So I loved her as a character. Yes, really positive. And then every time I heard Margaret's name, this is so dumb, all I could think about was Sandra Bullock in The Proposal.
Was her name Margaret?
Her name was Margaret.
I did not know that.
Because there's like that evil the evil agent that like works at her office, and she like took over her like his credenza in the office. Do you remember that?
No.
He was like, Margaret. And all I could think about was Margaret.
Oh my God.
But yeah. Okay. Overall thoughts. Pleasantly surprised by her writing and making sure that it wasn't just like a cheesy little romance about just these two people. She like intertwined Margaret's story really, really well. And I think I was like fascinated by it, but I just hate that we glazed over like the most important, interesting parts of her story.
Yeah, I felt the same way. She was dragging out the parts that weren't juicy, right. And then the ones that were, she would pace them so fast. And I have this thing that I highlighted. It was so weird to me. Like she was building up to all of this crazy stuff, right? Like in chapter 1, page 6, by the way, she said, and of course about the other things, the scandal, the cult, the trial, the accident. By the way, I forgot there was a freaking trial because she barely mentioned it. Like the way she glazed through all of the like crazy stuff that she was like throwing in hints about throughout the book. It was so weird to me. I didn't understand it. And like, I was getting so confused between the grandfather, the father, all of the wives.
And some of them had nicknames. Like, her mom had a nickname. Her dad had a nickname. I was like, what?
I was getting I was like, who is Bernie? Like, no, I had to use context clues to figure everyone out. And like, seriously, she barely mentioned the trial. I forgot there was a trial until I just read that. So when
they said Cecile, I was like, Cecile, how am I supposed to know who this is? Yeah. Literally. How was I supposed to know?
It was the only way I remembered was because he had a gap tooth and they like said it in the description. No, that was no, it was bad, but that was just how I remembered it. But yeah, the pacing of it was like really weird.
Because usually Emily Henry's pacing is really good.
Yeah, but I feel like she usually doesn't have these big reveals, you know? So it's like, I feel like she doesn't, maybe now she has more experience in it, but like this was her first time having to pace something that wasn't just a romance where like they get together and you don't need that much time to like know that they got together. Right. But this one, she had to reveal like 50 different things before the book ended, and she did it at the last like 2%. I was checking my Kindle and it kept saying like 91, 93%.
You're like, so
and I was like, what's going on? I know. We still don't have answers to anything. So it was just kind of frustrating.
I did read last part of it like after work today. So I was like trying to like rush through it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if I had read it like in one passing, maybe I could have gotten all of the context clues to get to the ending.
Yeah.
Like when she said Nicolette and then he said my mom's name is Nicolette, I was like, I swear we've talked about his mom and he never said her name was Nicolette. Like, I don't know.
He didn't.
Right?
Yeah.
And
it was just like random that it was brought up.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that or should we get into the questions?
We should get into the questions.
Because I have stuff to say about that.
About Nicolette?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Were you engaged with Margaret's history? Oh, sorry. We're going into the discussion questions if that wasn't clear. Were you engaged with Margaret's history and past, or were you left wanting more? What were your thoughts on her romance with Cosmo? So basically, what did you think about Margaret?
We answered this. Like, I was intrigued by her upbringing and her early 20s when she got married when she was 21. Like, that's wild. So all of that part was glazed over. I did not care about like the history of her grandfather.
Same.
Like, I'm sorry, but any wealthy family, it has to start somewhere.
Yeah, like why did it matter? And she kept saying like, it's part of me, it's part of my story. Like if you unravel that, then you unravel part of my life. I'm seriously looking back at it, and like we didn't need to know that many details.
No,
about
and that was
it.
part of Laura, her sister's story, because she was so close to the grandfather.
She wasn't. She was out partying.
Yeah, Margaret was like, I'm gonna go to this festival. I'm gonna have fun. You know?
Yeah. So like, were you left wanting more? Yeah, of the cult of the trial, like of the crazy stuff. And then her romance with Cosmo, like it was so cute. That was like such a nice part, and she just like glazed over it when the entire time, and she was like, "Oh, we're almost to Cosmo. Oh, we're about to talk about Cosmo," and like then she barely did.
I was like, it's not even that serious. What do you mean? You were with him for 4 years?
Yeah,
but then it made sense why. So the way that she said. So there was the accident she was referring to was one night she started like throwing up. She thought it was appendicitis, or that's what they had deemed after, in air quotes. And so they rushed to the hospital and they got into an accident because of the paparazzi. The paparazzi
which
that like
was reminiscent of Princess Diana, no? She died by a car crash with the paparazzi. That's how she died, because they were so like caught up in like escaping the like photographers that they ended up crashing.
That's true.
So that's what I was thinking about. So that's why I feel like she pulled from Taylor Jenkins Reid. Oh my God, what's her name? I don't read her books. I don't know.
Yeah, TJR.
Okay, her. And also like Princess Diana, and people were saying that she was like calling back to her like previous books, but I think just because it was like based
that's
like
very
on a
TJR
beach.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
like
God.
Nuggets from her other books.
Yeah, but I think they were just saying that because of the setting, because like beach read, and it was like taking place on a beach.
True.
So
that's true.
I don't know.
What did the Reddit people say about it? Because clearly Saanya like went on Reddit.
So the Redditors, they basically no, I just made it up, but they were basically saying what we're saying, that it's a departure, and they're calling it like more so women's fiction, because it's like half and half. Like some people thought it was more romance, some people thought there were more like Margaret Ives stories, so it was like women's fiction.
Is it departure, or is it like a new era for Emily Henry? Like I think her writing has improved.
We don't know because we're going to see, but I think you're right. Actually, I think that it's a new era, and she's not going to go back to just writing romance.
No.
You're so right. But it was kind of lukewarm. Like no one was like, oh my God, so obsessed, my favorite book. Everyone either had it, like they started listing their rankings for her books. And it was either in the middle or like towards the end. Like no one had it at the top, but no one was saying it was a bad book either. So I think mostly everyone, it's kind of just like, you know.
Okay. Wow.
Just like
that's surprising.
Slipping through.
Yeah, that's
the
surprising
cracks
to me.
Like I don't think people are going to talk about it so much in a few years, is my opinion.
Because Book Lovers was like,
Punch.
Like it was
beach read. Punch.
Yeah. We almost called the podcast Book Lovers because Saanya loved the book. Book
did.
Lovers so much.
But
I was like, there's every podcast
is called
like
Book Lovers,
you know?
Yeah, so that would have been telling difficult.
You to listen to our competition, apparently.
But
okay,
yeah,
so we answered the question.
Okay, the next one like kind of goes more into like what we were talking about, so I'll go to that. Margaret has a couple twists up her sleeve, and it turns out that she had a child that she gave up for fear of what the press would do. And that child turns out to be Hayden's mother, so Margaret is his grandmother. The entire book project started as a way for Margaret to meet her grandson. What were your thoughts on this reveal? I want to go back to the Nicolette thing.
Okay.
Because throughout the book, so Hayden, like it said in the summary, he's a Pulitzer Prize award-winning author. And this is what he does for a living. He is writing memoirs, and he pieces together a story and like figures out like, you know, their life's like mystery and just like does all of that. So when the whole Nicolette thing came up and he saw that one of Margaret's art pieces was named that, and his mom's name is Nicolette.
The way that it's spelled is also the same.
And he was like, and Alice pieced it together first. But he was like, what is Nicolette? Like, he didn't even know that. And I think that is such a big plot hole to make this guy like the best at his job, but yet he didn't realize that like the first or like hotel that they owned, they renamed Nicolette. Like, that was the basic part of the research that they did at the beginning, or like we're supposed to do at the beginning.
But
so how did he miss
like
that?
She may have not told him the name of the hotel.
No, but you just research it. And Alice said when you go on that hotel's website, their history page has that information. So you're telling me he wouldn't read the history page of the hotel that he's researching? It literally made no sense. Right. To me, it was such a big plot hole. No one on Reddit was talking about it, and I feel like they find the craziest stuff that I don't even think of. So I feel like no one's talking about that. I'm so confused. Isn't that such a massive plot hole? He was a Pulitzer Prize winning author. And he's like
not doing the research. I mean, clearly he was a little distracted, but that's okay.
But like that was literally the basic.
That's true.
Basic part of it. So I was just like confused about that. And then her,
or maybe he was like us and he was like, why do I care about your grandfather's history and like how he started? Like, let me get to like actually Cosmo and your life.
I don't think so. I think it's a big plot hole, honestly. Okay. And her giving up her child, I get it if you have such strong feelings about like the child won't be able to grow up well and just be in the limelight. I don't know, like, I just feel like I disagree. Like, Beyonce has a child. She has 3 kids. And she's doing it, you know?
There's plenty of people that, I think the whole story about, like,
and I'm sorry, giving up all of the money, like, and
couldn't be me.
I seriously don't understand.
But, no, I think their whole, like, family, the curse that she thought they had,
it really stuck with her.
It really stuck with her, but I'm like, how do you get into the mindset like that? Because
yeah.
I'm sorry, Laura's decision to join a cult, that's on you, girl. That's on you.
Yeah, it's not a family curse. And when you think about it, like every single family goes through stuff.
Yes.
And like bad things happen to everyone. Like, okay, you know, Beyonce has kids. Like they had the elevator incident. Like we know that her husband cheated on her. Her sister like got pregnant at 16, is divorced twice now. Her mom is divorced twice. Like everyone has got stuff.
Solange
it's not
got pregnant at 16?
Yeah, like 16, 18, something like that. And she has a kid and he's like a full grown, almost adult. And she's been divorced twice. Like, you know, things happen. It's not a curse. It's life. Like other people join cults too. And like
Scientology. So no, it's a cult.
Like
but
Tom
it's in
Cruise
Hollywood. Exactly. Tom Cruise is there. I think he's thriving. He's okay.
Yeah.
But it's also, if you have that amount of money, there is no problem that can't be solved.
Yeah, and I'm totally
sorry,
agree.
I can't, I don't get it.
I totally agree.
Agree. So for her to like give up the child, and then also I was thinking back to it, Cecile married her sister Laura in Switzerland, which could she not have just gone to Switzerland and raised her daughter there?
Exactly.
No one knows. Like an amazing life to me.
No one knows about Jody.
No one knows about Jody. Jody came back to be with her.
And still no one knows about her.
No one knew that Laura passed away in Switzerland or like was sick in Switzerland and then moved to this area.
A plot hole. I'm telling you. Plot hole.
She could have easily, as soon as she had the daughter, Cecile was there, their like family physician who's now married to her sister. She could have said, you guys have a nice little life in a Swiss chalet. Let me come move in with you guys.
Yeah.
Let's raise our kids there. A nice, quiet, luxurious life. And let's change our last names.
Plot hole. I'm telling you. Okay, next one.
Honestly, I would have liked to read that.
Yes.
You know?
Same. Take me to Switzerland. Yeah. Despite his feelings for Alice, Hayden doesn't want to cross the line since they are technically competitors for Margaret's story. What were your initial thoughts on Alice and Hayden? Do you think they are a good fit? Why or why not?
they were together for 3 weeks. Like, I can't tell you if they're a good fit. Like, they're in this bubble of their own. Like, it's not real life.
I also just thought it was weird to me because I mean I like a grumpy man, right? So at first I was like liking him. I enjoyed their story. And then he just got like all soft and she was like, I don't know how I thought his glower was ever a glower. Like he's just thinking really hard or something. And I was like, okay, like this is not this is not what I'm into.
They were
and they just got so soft and always like putting their head like on each other's shoulders. It was like, get off. I seriously couldn't take it. It was just getting too like, woe is me. And he was just talking about like his family in the limelight because his dad was a mayor
of a small little city. Like,
I couldn't get behind it. And she was like, you know, her mom just says like, sure, when she wants to come over and like she doesn't want to talk about the whole thing was just like not.
I don't know. I was like, it was glazed over. I was like, what is this? Like, no, and they're like, I don't know if they're good together because they've literally been together for 3 weeks. I can't tell you that.
I know. I will say overall they were cute. Like the last part where he came over to her house and found out that he was like the grandson of Margaret. And she was like, and he was like, is it true? And she was like, that you're the grandson, which was like the big reveal, right? And he was like, no, that you love me. I honestly thought that was cute.
I was so great. I was like, this is so cringe. Like, why are we reading this?
He just cares about you.
He doesn't care that he's the grandson. She gave away all the money. Like,
who would care? And like this lady who just like made them stay there for a month. Like,
no, I couldn't. Like, whatever.
That was now that I'm thinking about it, like that's funny that I thought it was cute. Okay, do you have a favorite Emily Henry book? Where does this one fall in your rankings? And like I said, everyone on Reddit was going crazy on their rankings. And I saw someone put Book Lovers as their last book. And I was like,
can't trust that person.
We can't be friends.
No.
We can't be friends.
I think we're probably going to have the same thought. But I think Book Lovers and Beach Read are pretty
like top two.
Toe to toe for me. Like I can't pick between one of those.
Yeah.
And then I think this would go third just because I'm ready for this new era of Emily Henry where I think she's exploring not just doing like a parallel strict like romance novel. It has more depth. It has other stories that someone may be interested in. And so I think this would be number 3 for me. But that's also because I never read Happy Place and Funny Story. I
was at the bottom for you. I would say Beach Read, Book Lovers is at the top for me. I would say number 3, honestly, is Funny Story because I really liked, like looking back, I really like the whole like library of it all, honestly, that she was a librarian and that just, and the setting of the book where they like bought a house and like the walk that she would have from the house to the library, like it was so cute and just like the way that she would dress and like it was just really cute to like look back on. So I would say that's number 3. I would say then this book, Great Big Beautiful Life, and then Happy Place at the bottom. I didn't read People We Meet on Vacation. I will be reading it this summer, so I'll like give my opinions on that later. But
I heard it's not great.
Same. Okay. But Happy Place literally at the bottom. I feel like People We Meet on Vacation will be above Happy Place because that book, honestly, the way it made my heart just like.
Is Happy Place the one that has a show on Hulu? Or no?
No.
Okay. Cool.
No. I don't know which that one is. That might be People We Meet on Vacation. Like it hasn't come out yet, right? Is what you're saying?
No. There's a show on Hulu.
Oh no,
Good People? I don't know. Something like
that. No. Okay. Yeah. That one, like, oh my God, it did things to me and not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Okay. Hollywood adaptation. Who are your people?
Okay. So I did 3 of them, obviously. Alice, Hayden,
I forgot about Margaret.
So my Margaret is not really an actress.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to think of one really quickly. Okay. Are you ready? Because I think this is good.
Yes.
Okay. They said both of them were like decently tall, not like tall, but just like tall.
This is Margaret.
Alice and Hayden.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so my Alice is Minka Kelly.
Cute. Mm-hmm. Okay.
My Hayden, Scott Eastwood.
That was like so left field.
Who? No, are you kidding? The two together?
I don't know what he looks like. Sorry, Scott. I think I have it in my. That's who I was picturing. So cute,
right?
You just like that pairing is really nice. I think you skewed a little older than I did. Yeah. So, okay, well, but like cute
Pulitzer
couple.
Prize like writer.
I forgot that they were in their 30s. I was imagining late 20s. So my bad.
Okay, but those are my two, and then my Margaret. This is left field. Are you ready? Lisa Vanderpump.
I love that.
Like,
I love that. You know I second it because I don't have a I totally forgot about her.
Honestly, if Lisa wanted to get into acting, this would be the perfect role for her.
Beautiful.
Darling.
Like,
not that I ever watched Vanderpump.
Same.
I just see clips of her.
And she's like fabulous. Like, you can just tell she's lived an amazing life. Okay, yeah, I'm just piggybacking off of your Margaret.
Okay, I feel like I've done really well the last two times.
You have. Mine is like so unoriginal, so just like basic. Okay, just bear with me. Like, we're going to go with yours. Hollywood should go with yours. Okay, my Hayden, I chose Miles Teller. That's good, right? Because they're still young. Like, they're not.
Miles Teller is in his 30s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, and then for Alice, I had to choose like a peppy girl who's like always like smiling and positive and chipper. I chose Emma Stone, which I'm sorry, I feel like I've chosen her like 3 times by now.
Yeah.
But I just like saw her face and I was like, they would look so just like cute together, and she's so bubbly. Like, I just feel like I can see her at Little Croissant having an iced coffee and a croissant.
Yeah, every time I like hear Emma Stone's name, I hear her voice, and I can't picture her as Alice in this.
Yeah, right, she's so
she
bubbly.
Has like a deeper, like raspier, like.
But she's always like, "Hi."
Yeah. No, that's true. But I love Miles Teller.
Okay,
and I love Lisa Vanderpump. So like, amazing casting.
Love.
Honestly,
we're doing so
Hollywood
good.
Collis.
Okay, I want to know your rating.
Okay, I don't know why you think I rated this book bad, because I didn't.
Okay,
I think Goodreads for me, this is a 4.
Okay.
I can't fault her for, honestly, like, as a romance book. I like this because it's not just about romance. Like, there's something other.
Yeah.
Something else to it. My personal rating, I think I'm like a 3.9. Like, I think I'm
okay.
It's solid.
Okay.
It's solid. Like, I would recommend this as someone who's like, I'm in a reading rut. I need something that I'm like, I don't really care to think about. Like, it's not gonna make me research. Like, I wouldn't go on Reddit. Like, I don't know what prompted Saanya to do so, but like, I wasn't that intrigued.
I always want to get a taste of what other people are saying. Not that it clouds my judgment,
right?
But I just want to see, like, are we on par with everyone else? Yeah. Is everyone like hating it and we're loving it? Right. You know, I just want to see what other, because in this room, like, it's just us two, you know?
That's true.
So I just want to see like what the world is saying. And Emily Henry is seriously like the second biggest author right now, or like third biggest author. Did she respond to our
post? Did she DM us?
So she is so big that she has turned off, like, she does not get our messages. That's how big she is, Sarish. But every other author, we didn't even say this, by the way. We didn't even post about it. But the author of our last book, This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead, we messaged her raving about the book. We told her we reviewed it. We talked about it for our book club, and we absolutely loved it. And she responded, and she was basically like, this made my day. I'm so happy to hear it. She was so sweet. And I even screenshotted it, and I was going to like story it, but I didn't. I felt weird doing it.
Yeah.
But maybe I can do it now since we're talking about it.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
It was really nice. But she responded, and I was like, oh my God, like, seriously loved your book.
It was so good. So I'm glad that we wrote her the message and she like read it.
Yeah.
So Emily Henry's never going to read our messages.
No, because she doesn't even get them. Every time I tag her in something, it says this creator won't see her message, basically. So you can tag her, but like she's not getting it.
Read it. Wow, she's that big.
She's up there.
All right. I loved it.
For my rating, my Goodreads is also a 4, and my personal is also a 4. I thought it was a solid book. And I feel like we tend to more so like talk about the negatives, but that's honestly all I can say. It was a solid book. Like if someone asked me like, should I read this book? Would you recommend it? I would say like go for it. So I feel like that's a great indicator of what you would say. But I would just preface it by saying, but just know it's not like a total romance. There's like,
I'm just gonna say it wasn't a 5 out of 5 for me, but I thought it was a solid read.
Yeah, it was honestly crazy how much it was like Evelyn Hugo. Yeah. Now, like
I just kept thinking about, are we talking to Evelyn?
Oh wait, I didn't even mention this, but I knew that Hayden was going to be related to her.
You did?
Yeah.
How?
And I knew that because I remember last time I predicted something in like our last thriller, you were like, how did guess this? But I can't remember what book it was, but it was like this. And that was the reveal that they were related. And I had that feeling. And then they said that Alice found Margaret, but Margaret requested Hayden. And as soon as they said that, I was like, it's confirmed they're related.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but there was like, what's the other reason? Like, you know, I knew that there was
she
going
doesn't
to be
care
a
about like a Pulitzer Prize. Like Margaret's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Like what's the reason to bring this random guy in, you know? So yeah, I knew that was coming and yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was a great pick for the month of May because I think we're now like moving away from like our thriller-ish season and moving into like a light read. I did say last episode that I was going to read Tinks's book this month. I have not read it yet. I will read it in June.
You are going to read it?
I'm going to read it because again, me preaching about the Foster sisters, they had Tinks on the podcast because they bought the rights. And the episode was great. And if they're excited about it, I'm excited about it. So I'm going to read it. And I'll get back to you guys.
We have,
no, go for it. This is not book related at all.
Oh, we have our next book to pick and we have so many different options. I seriously don't know what we're going to go with, but to tease, we are going to go with a romance book, right?
For sure.
Because it's summer.
It's summer. No, and we will repost this, but there is like exciting book release post that I saw. I texted it to you and I forgot to story it yesterday, but I will. There's 2 or 3 books on there that look so good.
I think one is Say You'll Remember Me.
Potentially, I'm forgetting the titles now, but they looked so good.
Yeah.
So so many romance books like coming up, and I think it all sounds great.
I'm about to go on a beach vacation, so I'm so ready to have that to look forward to.
What I was going to say about the non-book thing, Rhode just sold for $1 billion to Elf Cosmetics.
Random. Wait, what?
Exactly.
Wait, I thought you were saying something else.
No. So let me give you the timeline on this, okay? Because I looked into it because
wait, you saw this today?
Literally an hour ago. A month ago, we knew that Rhode was being pitched to different like heritage cosmetic brands for the sale. Didn't think anyone was going to bite because at that point it was just a consumer. So like they were selling direct to consumer at that point.
But now
last week they announced they're going to be at Sephora.
Yeah.
Just last week they announced they're going to be at Sephora. and today it was released that e.l.f. Cosmetics bought them for $1 billion, and Hailey's going to stay on to be the creative director for the brand. And the two co-founders with her, it's a couple actually. They I think they're the ones who like released the information. I'm forgetting. I'm gonna do a little deep dive, but literally right before this episode, I saw this news and I was like, I need to look into this. So I'll be doing a deep dive. And if you follow Hot Smart Rich, Maggie Sellers, she kind of breaks down like the sale of consumer brands, and so I'm sure she's going to do a little deep dive on this. Cannot wait to listen to her. I'm
seriously in shock. When you first said it didn't even register as what you were saying. I thought you were talking about like, because I had heard, so I don't remember what podcast this was, but you know the whole Vogue Justin Bieber thing? He had posted that. So
I saw you liked the post.
I did.
I didn't because of this freaking caption.
I saw like one of my friends from college, she had like commented on it like, you good, bro? And I liked her comment because it was so true. Like, what are you doing? I would be livid if my husband like wrote that.
Yeah.
And so everyone was talking about it. And one of the podcasts I was listening to, they were like, you know, obviously like she loves him, whatever. But he like, at the beginning of their relationship, it was like he was the breadwinner and like the stability, the financial stability. So they were like guessing that if Rhodes sold and she had like her own like millions upon millions, that is when she would divorce him. Because like now she's got her own, and he seems like psycho.
She has a post-nup because they definitely did not have a prenup.
Yeah, it's just so wild that like the conversations that are happening now are so different than what they were like when they first got married.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so happy for her. Like good for her. I love Hailey Bieber. Yeah. Weirdly, I have not tried any of the Rhode products.
But they look so good, but I want them to be in Sephora because then it's accessible for me to purchase, you know?
Whenever they come, we should go together.
We should like the pink blush.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what we'll do. But so happy for Hailey Bieber. So happy for Emily Henry, stellar read, solid May book club
way to bring it back.
And you guys let us know what you thought. Did you agree with us? Did you have more plot holes that maybe we didn't even discuss? But let us know. Again, follow us on Instagram at Shelf Sisters Podcast and TikTok at Shelf Sisters. Thank you guys for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.